Yeah.
He was like, good job. He goes, it's great to see positive parenting.
Yes.
Because the next time, because if I had given in to Bo and just said, yeah, you can have it to stop his crying, what would have happened was, I call it upping the ante.
Go for it. I was just thinking the same thing, but go for it. Yeah.
You up the ante and it allows the kids have just learned, they know where your limits are.
And so they could push it.
They can push it. And so they know that if you've done it here, okay, all I had to do was cry a little bit, my kid, and I got what I wanted.
I could cry a little bit more.
And now the next time, oh, maybe a little bit louder and a little bit longer. Oh, we can't have this. There you go. You've got your toy or your snack. So my sons learned at a very early age, no, you have to behave.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I also wanted to make sure that they learned is that there are different environments in which to behave and how to behave. Just because even you can act one way at home, but when you go out in public, don't act a fool.
Mm-hmm.
You're representing the family, you're representing yourself. And I feel that way. And that's one other thing that I taught the kids when I said, when I go out in public, I am going to represent you as well.
True. Okay. Very true.
So if I do something stupid and embarrassing
Yeah.
that could come back and you hear about it, okay, we're not having that. It just would be awful.
I agree. I agree. Well put. I've gotten a chance to watch your sons evolve as men. I've got a chance to watch you interact with your sons, and you treat them like they're men. And when you're with them or you're around them and you guys are hanging out, like you look at them like your sons. You do. Mm-hmm. Like they're men. And I was thinking, how do you feel about gentle parenting, and when that gentle parenting goes into, because I have some people that they ask me questions about parenting, and I say, hey, I don't think parents are friends. I don't know if they ever will be, but I think they're still your parents are your parents. It's just the way it's going to be until it's no more. But that just is. It's that way. You guys can hang out, you guys have fun, but that doesn't mean you're friends. Your mom, your father, your permanent guide. Your permanent parents. Mm-hmm. It's just like, no, now we're friends. You're no longer my parent. No, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think it works that way, does it?
No, not for me. I want my sons to be. I want to raise my sons to be strong men. And when I say by strong, I think we've lost. I do want to touch on this a little bit.
No, go for it. I would love
because
it.
I feel that the male generation, the last 2 generations or so with men, they've become a little softer.
Yes.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think things have fluctuated a little bit.
Agreed.
And I have heard from women like how they emasculate their significant others, but then they're expecting this man to be strong and whatever. But you can't have both worlds.
You cannot have both worlds.
You need to build them up. And that's one of the things I want. And strong does not mean aggressive.
It does not.
Those are not synonymous words.
Strong is vulnerable. Strong is gentle.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Strong is providing emotional support. Strong is providing a safe space for a woman to be vulnerable, for your kids to be emotional, like supporting all that, true strength, like being there, holding everything down, like truly being there and listening
Yes.
and solving problems the right way. There's so much that we bring to the table as men and as women, and it often gets ignored. And there's too much behind it nowadays. But like you said, you're correct on that, from what I see. Men are afraid to be men.
Yes. And
There's
because the
nothing wrong
thing
with
is,
it.
they've been squashed in certain circumstances.
Yes.
And I think it's as a partnership, regardless of the arrangement of a family, you need to have both parties walk side by side. The percentage isn't going to be 50-50. Sometimes if somebody is sick, it's going to be 90-10.
Yep.
It's all about walking side by side.
We have our strengths and weaknesses as men and as men and women, and it's a phenomenal thing. It teaches us everything we need to know, and it's like you said, 90-10, 50-50, 100-100. Like if we're both great, we're both doing great. Some days it's gonna be 60. Some days I need you to pick up the slack has to be picked up.
Exactly.
Our weaknesses and strength is what, and we put it together and learn about it. That's what makes great kids.
But touching on the gentle parenting that you were talking
Yes.
about too, having those boundaries for the kids. There was a lady who had been talking to me about her children. They were between the ages of 10 and 13, a boy and a girl. She was just, she says, I just don't know about this gentle parenting. She goes, I'm kind of tired. She goes, actually, I'm always tired. And yes, we get that as parents. We're parenting is a big deal. We do get tired. But if the guidelines and such are not in place, if there aren't any rules and expectations set, then you're going to be very tired. Because then you're going to be, as I say, getting rid of the fires. There's going to be little fires popping up all over the place.
Gentle parenting. What happens when you coddle a boy for too long?
In my opinion, if you coddle a boy too long, their behaviors are reinforced. They're negatively reinforced.